Four Walls by FX touches on the concept of chaos theory via the butterfly effect. Each of the four members also represents the other three in their own parallel universe. The way they exist and operate in the story makes it so one's actions can implicate the other members in their own respective dimensions. The mistake of Amber dropping the teacup at the beginning of the video sets in motion a chain of increasingly dangerous events. Amber drops and breaks the cup, Luna then pours the tea onto the table and it spills onto the ground because there's no longer a cup to hold it, and Victoria slips on the wet floor as a result of the previous two outcomes. This is the concept of four walls. The four dimensions that make up this house are the four remaining members of FX. One's mistake has the potential to severely impact the others. If one wall falls, the whole house collapses. It's a representation of the butterfly effect, a phenomenon which supposes that a butterfly flapping its wings in Wichita, Kansas can cause a series of chain reactions that causes a tornado in India years later. All characters come to realize their link to one another as the video progresses. In the second act of the video, we see the members observing each other frozen in stasis as they're assuming different roles from the first act. It's here in the forest that they identify the different dimensions and are able to piece together what happened in the first act of the video. It could have been anyone who dropped the cup or slipped and fell. All of them would have been implicated eventually as they are existing in universes parallel to each other. Having all experienced the initial chain of events, learning what exactly happened and wishing for things to have turned out differently, FX now has the foresight to stop another cup from dropping by the end of the video. Each member makes an effort to retrace their actions in order to change the course of the first act before Victoria is the one who successfully stops the cup from falling again, preventing another butterfly effect at the end of the video. Or did she? We aren't really given an answer or shown a lesson by FX now having the foresight to stop the cup from falling, so what is the meaning of this story and video? This is where I think the butterfly effect and chaos theory actually comes into play. The underlying message is that the existence FX finds themselves in is unsustainable. The inherent problem with this story is the way FX is depending on each other. One's mistake causes the whole group to suffer in their own way, and so perhaps the lesson provided is that trying to stop another cup from falling with foresight is not the desirable outcome. The video ends on an unresolved note because they should not have tried to change the outcome of another member's reality. That is the observable conclusion to this video, though we never see the implications of them changing their fate. What happens after the second cup doesn't break, even though it was seemingly supposed to? Victoria doesn't stop Amber's cup from dropping completely. Amber still drops the cup. Victoria only prevents it from hitting the ground. I believe the end of the video is actually what triggers the butterfly effect. The lesson here is that Victoria stopping the cup from dropping is somehow wrong. Her taking the liberty to protect another member is going to set in motion a chain of events that causes some kind of disaster. The cosmic irony to all of this is that it did end up being the last standard release of their career. I don't put too much weight into this, but it is interesting to think about the parallels of this song to the story of the group. The context surrounding the Four Walls release was Sully going on hiatus and ultimately deciding to leave the group just before the project was announced. I strongly suspect the reason why FX acquired the song from SHINee and developed a narrative about the butterfly effect and chaos theory was to portray that there's really nothing they could have or even should have done to stop Sully from leaving. I'm sure they didn't want to see her leave, especially given the circumstances as to why she left to pursue her own career, but this song, as it kind of marks their disbandment, paints a picture as to why FX isn't musically active anymore. I know a lot of it can be boiled down to SM's incompetence, but the story of Four Walls outlines that Sully was a part of this multi-dimensional dynamic as well. She was one of the 5 walls of this group, and again, like I said at the beginning of the video, if one wall falls, the whole house collapses. Sully leaving undoubtedly impacted the members, and I've always kind of loosely suspected that the narrative of them trying to stop the cup from falling represents this in a lot of ways. The lesson we learn by the end of Four Walls was that the cup breaking at the beginning of the video was not a mistake. It was supposed to happen. Amber does not trigger the butterfly effect by breaking the cup. Victoria does by preventing it from happening again at the end of the video, setting in motion a chain of events that causes the Four Walls to collapse. And now it's been almost 10 years since the release of this album with nothing in between that time. I don't bring all of this up to make light of anything that happened. I just think Four Walls presents a very profound story that ends up being very representative of everything this group has been through. The way they see each other as extensions of themselves and how it doesn't make much sense to continue as FX without all 5 of its walls. I think it's very significant that they chose to portray how trying to change the outcome of a situation may do more harm than good in a lot of ways. For reasons unknown and maybe unfair to us, the cup probably should stay broken. That is my understanding of Four Walls and its music video. Thank you for watching this. If you did, definitely let me know what you think about this in particular. If you have any other ideas about the video or the song or just FX in general, yeah, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you next time.